Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest weekend of the NFL season. 9 teams can clinch a playoff spot this weekend. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to, of course, the Sports Lovers, or welcome to the Sports Lovers, one of those two. If you are new to the channel, though, be sure to hit that sub button and leave a comment so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. However, in today's video, of course, it is Wednesday, so we're going to predict the NFL matchups. We're going to talk about and break them down and what possibly is the biggest weekend of the NFL season because we have so many teams that can clinch a playoff spot. We're going to talk about that, those scenarios, break them all down. But again, if you are new to the channel, hit that sub button, leave a comment down below so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. Tomorrow, we will, of course, have our Texas A&M Road to Glory video, and then on Friday, we will play our Vanderbilt Dynasty off-season video for recruiting. So, lots of stuff coming to the channel. Again, I already said it twice, so I'm not really going to say it again. But, again, it just helps us out if you guys could. Obviously, you know what to do. But without further ado, let us go ahead and hop right into these NFL predictions for Week 16. All right, so kicking us off on Thursday Night Football this week, we got an absolute banger of a matchup between the Los Angeles Rams going into the Seattle Seahawks. This is going to be a fun one. Can't wait for this one on Thursday Night Football. Obviously, the Rams, they've already clinched a playoff spot. However, they're still looking to lock up that #1 seed, whereas the Seattle Seahawks can get into the playoffs with a win. The Rams, like I said, they're already clinched. The Seahawks, they're playing at home, coming off of a close win against Phillip Rivers and company against the Indianapolis Colts, which is just absolutely wild. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Seattle to win this game. I like Sam Darnold. I like the run game with Charbonnet. Obviously, you got Kenneth Walker, the Seahawks do. Then you, on the wide receiver core, you got Cooper Kupp, JSN. So I'm leaning more towards Seattle in this one. I believe LA won the first matchup earlier in the week, or in the season rather, but I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks to get the job done at home in that matchup. Moving on to Sunday, of course, the Eagles going into the Commanders, and man, I would just love it if Marcus Mariota could beat the Commanders the Eagles, because that just helps for Dallas's playoffs hopes. But let's be real, guys. The Cowboys probably aren't making the playoffs. It was a good, hopeful, wishful thinking while it lasted, but for now, the Eagles, they are now 9-5. They can win the division, lock in a playoff spot with a win. I expect them to win this game because they're the better team. I know that they put up a fight against the Giants this past weekend, but I'm still going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles to get the job done on the road in Washington and win the NFC East. Moving on to a banger of a game on Saturday, and I hate that this is kind of conflicting with the college football playoff, but it is what it is. I'm going to be flipping back and forth for sure. We got the Packers going into the Bears. Man, I can't wait for this one. This is going to be so much fun. I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears to get the job done. I know they almost won in Lambeau a couple of weeks ago, and again, I'm sure Caleb Williams, that does sting right there, but the Packers, they just lost Micah Parsons for the year with a torn ACL. So that's going to hurt big time. He was a big part in that Chicago game a couple of weeks ago. I expect the Packers defense to be a little bit less hard to beat, I guess you would say. But I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears. I like Ben Johnson. I like what that group's been doing. And I expect the Bears to get the job done at home in that matchup on Saturday night. Which brings us to Sunday, the most important Sunday probably of the year. The Bills are going into Cleveland, is kicking us off on Sunday, and I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills coming off of a big win on the road in New England. That was just a phenomenal comeback by Josh Allen and company. I expect the Bills to continue to light up the scoreboard, and ultimately get the job done on the road in Cleveland. Yes, I know Shedeur did not play great last week, but he played great a couple of weeks ago, and we'll see what else he can do against this Buffalo Bills defense, but I'm going to go with the Bills to get the job done. Moving on to the next matchup on Sunday, that is the Chiefs going into the Titans. I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs in this one, but I could totally see Cam Ward and company knocking off the Chiefs, especially with a Patrick Mahomes-less Kansas City Chiefs team. However, I'm going to go with the Chiefs to ultimately get the win on the road. Bengals at the Dolphins. Both teams have officially been eliminated from the playoffs. I don't know if you guys saw, but the Dolphins did lose on Monday Night Football last night. And then the Bengals, they did not put up a single point against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins to get the job done. I really am. I think that this group can still bounce back in this one. However, I'm still going to go with the Dolphins to get the job done. Moving on, we got the Vikings at the Giants. I'm going to go with 9 and J.J. McCarthy coming off of a big-time Sunday Night Football win over in Dallas. The offense played really good. He got the ball to his playmakers like Naylor. Of course, Justin Jefferson got involved a little bit. I expect Justin Jefferson to have a really good game against this very sorry Giants defense. With that said, I'm going to go with the Vikings to get the job done on the road. Moving us to the Jets at the Saints. Man, what a sloppy game this is going to be. I'm going to take the Saints in this one, though. The Saints coming off of a win over division rival Carolina, and that was just an ultimate crapshoot of a referee again, officiating game, a play calling game from a Panthers fan standpoint, But I'm going to go with the Saints in this one. I think they're the better team. I'm not going to be shocked, though, if Brady Cook and company can put up some points. With that said, I'm going to go with the Saints because they're at home and they should be able to get the job done. Moving on to the Chargers at the Cowboys. Give me the Chargers in that one. Cowboys season, it's done, man. I don't even know what to do anymore. Dak, I know he's been playing really good these last few weeks. I know we still have a 1% chance to make the playoffs, but I'm going to go with the Chargers to get the job done on the road. I just think they're the better team. I know Trey Harris got hurt, but I expect the Chargers to ultimately pull the win off in Dallas, which brings us to the most important 12 p.m. game for NFC South fans, for Tampa Bay fans, for Carolina fans. That is the Bucs going into Charlotte. Charlotte getting the throwback unis on this week. This is going to be the most important game, and this is a playoff game at Bank of America Stadium. Bryce, you have to show up if we want to win this game. I think Bryce Young shows up. I really do. I've backed my quarterback all season long. I backed him up Rams week. I backed him up Packers week. I am not going to not back my quarterback. Bucks, they're 7-7. Obviously, the Panthers, they're also 7-7. Could have taken the NFC South lead next week or last week against New Orleans. Turn the page. Focus on Tampa. If we play just a little bit better than we did in New Orleans, we are beating this Tampa team. I'm rocking with the Carolina Panthers to get the job done at home and inch one game closer to an NFC South title and get the job done at home against the Bucks. Now, moving on to, of course, the 3:05 matchups of the day. This is going to be a good one. We got the Jags going into the Broncos. I don't know who to pick in this one, man. The Jags, their offense put up a lot of points last week with Trevor Lawrence and company. The Broncos, on the other hand, they're also a really good defensive football team. And I think I'm going to lean more towards Denver, A, because it's at home, and B, because they are the better football team. I'm going to go with the Broncos to get the job done, but I'm not going to be shocked if the Jags somehow find a way to upset Denver. However, I'm going to go with the Broncos to get the win there. Falcons at the Cardinals. This is going to be a sloppy game. I'm going to go with the Falcons to get the win. Raiders at the Texans. Give me the Texans in that 325 matchup over on CBS. And then the last one, 325 matchup of the day, that is the Steelers versus the Lions. This is going to be a fun matchup, man. I don't know if Mike Tomlin can pull this off against a red-hot Lions team right now. I know they just lost to the Rams. They're probably eliminated from the playoffs, but they're still looking to play spoiler. I expect the Lions to get the job done, and I'm going to rock with them to win at home against the Steelers, which brings us to the most important Sunday night football game that we've had in a while. The Patriots going into the Ravens. Ravens, they need this win. This is going to be fun. Lamar Jackson and company versus Drake May and the Patriots. I'm going to go with the Patriots to get a bounce-back win, but I'm not going to be shocked if Lamar Jackson and company can get the job done. However, give me the Patriots there in that one. And to close us out on Week 16, we, of course, have the San Francisco 49ers versus the Indianapolis Colts. Phillip Rivers and company did throw a touchdown yesterday against a few days ago, rather, against the Indianapolis Colts. With that being said, I'm going to go with the 49ers. They're getting healthy right now. They're peaking at the right time. Expect them to win this one and get the job done to close out Week 16. But that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you thought of my NFL predictions in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that bell on, as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. Tomorrow, like I said, Texas A&M Road to Glory. Then, of course, we will play our Vanderbilt Dynasty video on Friday. So stay tuned. Hit that sub button. Leave a comment down below. Thank you all so much for watching this one. I'll see you in the next one.